Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In tonight's discussion, I will be on the opposing team of why we feel that the U.S. government should not abolish ISIS. To my opponent's points, you guys are perfectly correct. Removing undocumented immigrants is wrong morally. The mistreatment of these immigrants with their families and children is wrong. And no, it is not a criminal act because they want to seek a better life. You're absolutely correct. However, what do you then say to those that are citizens here and that are committing crimes? In that, I'm saying this: if we were to abolish ISIS, then we will be losing our security. ISIS, as one of my opponents have already stated, was created in regards to the terrorist attack that happened 9/11 back in 2003, and that ISIS was created. Later on, Barack Obama, during his presidency, got the nickname Deporter in Chief because he then started to gather up undocumented immigrants, or undocumented individuals, should I say, and made sure that they would be held in the detention center until they can work out their problems into being either being removed from the country or being sent back home. Now, later on in that, he did, in his last term, want to gather up all of them that were criminals. To Isabel's point, the agency made 37,734 non-criminal arrests in the government's 2017 fiscal year, more than twice the number in 2016. But this was not because of Obama. This is because of our current president, President Donald Trump. To this point, I would say this: that the mistreatment and miseducation of what a detention center is simply is this. In an article that was posted in 2019 in June from the Boston University, it states as such. Congresswoman Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, the freshman congresswoman from New York, was demeaning Holocaust victims by comparing concentration camps to the immigrant and customs enforcement detention centers. They said she needed to go back and study up on her history. Chuck Todd, moderator of NBC's Meet the Press, said the immigration detention center and concentration camps are not at all comparable in the slightest. So are they? Ocasio-Cortez wouldn't back down, tweeting 2 days after her video, "Kids are dying, and I'm not here to make people feel comfortable about that," suggesting that our government is literally just taking individuals or groups of people away and killing them, which is an appeal to fear. As individuals, when we hear words such as concentration camp and or Holocaust, we automatically think of death. We put the image of death in our mind. Why? Because the Holocaust was a genocide, an extermination of one group's hatred over to another group, which is modern day and pre-modern day racism. In this, I do not believe that ISIS is a concentration camp, because one way we can adjust this and re-innovate it is, instead of making it a concentration camp, we can make it an education camp. Meaning, them that are coming over here for a better life and for better things, we can teach them what citizenship is. Them that are seeking citizenship, and actually training them and turning them into the grand dream of what we have, which is the land of the free and the home of the brave. Safety and procedures is my next point of why we should not get rid of ISIS. ISIS, yes, pointed out by Gabby and Esmeralda, has a few mistreated individuals, yes, in groups of people. However, in that, one way that we can make things get better is simply by this. In an article from the government executive webpage, it states this one point, that we clearly need a permanent solution. We clearly need a permanent solution that does not depend on the Trump's administration's whims and includes a mechanism for accountability. This is why the Congress must pass the Protecting Sensitive Locations Act to ensure immigrants are able to access health care and other important social services without fear of deportation. Absent certain exigent circumstances, that proposed law prohibits immigration's enforcement actions within 1,000 feet of sensitive locations like hospitals, schools, and places of worship without prior approval obtained from certain high-level government officials. Immigration enforcement agencies should not be allowed to contribute to the public health crisis like COVID-19 pandemic by targeting vulnerable patients and their family members. At the same time, healthcare professionals can also ensure their immigrant patients feel welcomed and protected at healthcare facilities. My multi-state research study, in that is definitely talking about having a safe haven or a welcoming place for all immigrants alike during the pandemic. Thank you.